not trying to get their food into the major supermarket distribution system. I think that it's a lot easier and a lot more streamlined for them.
Sure. And I know this is beyond the farmers market, but do you know if many of the vendors are working with local restaurants and local shops to sell their produce?
Well, that's a good question, and I don't actually know. I hope they are, and certainly at the farmers market, we'd love to get help to connect people to do that if they're not doing that already. Certainly, there are farms who are working with local soup kitchens and food assistance programs and things like that to get some food donated. But as far as restaurants, I'm not sure if they are.
Well, there's certainly a lot of potential out there. And actually, schools. I know there's a big initiative, across the country. Farm to table.
Right.
Right. And I know New Haven has a great program. Where a lot of farmers are providing a lot of fresh foods to the schools, and would love to see if we could do something like that locally.
Yeah, that would be great. Those are good programs, and why not? It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and Art Laney, our local food service director in the Winchester school system, is pretty progressive, and I know would be interested in something like that. So something we can work on trying to put together.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you said it runs through September. Now I know it would seem the growing season really goes well into the fall. Is there a reason it ends at September?
Yeah, we kept it just in the summer to simplify things for myself and my co-steering committee members. We have summers are easier to work out schedule-wise for that for them and for me. We've sort of been creeping it a little bit later and a little bit earlier each year to try to expand how long our season goes. There are markets that go all year long, and that's definitely something to aspire to. But it's trickier. There's a lot less in season in the middle of January.
Right. Yeah, certainly up in New England.
Yep.
And what other features do you think people not be aware of or might be interested in to know about the farmers market?
Well, specifically, our farmers market, I can say that it's a great opportunity for people to get involved. We're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for vendors as well. We take applications. We don't always accept everyone because we want to build this in a way that we're not, like I said earlier, we have some vegetable vendors that do overlap in some of their products, but we don't want that to get too out of hand and have, so much vendor-to-vendor competition that things start to break down. Yeah, exactly. Keep variety going and keep it expanding. So we're always looking for vendors and always looking for volunteers, so people can definitely get involved.
What kind of role could volunteers play?
Well, we have basically set up helping us to set up tents, breaking down at the end of the market, putting up posters around town if they have time on non-market days. Helping to talk to the customers. It's really one thing that we found very successful is to have people who volunteers on site who can explain, take people, show them the printout of the recipe, take them through how it works, and give them some food suggestions for the things they can buy at the market. So maybe you might call those the greeters. They definitely will chat with the customers and help them navigate maybe unfamiliar foods or something like that.
And what was I just going to say? Completely spaced there. Oh, you mentioned volunteers could put up flyers. Did you find that a lot of people still aren't aware of the farmers market?
We do. We find that that people each year, definitely a bunch of people will show up and say, oh gosh, I didn't realize this was here, or I didn't know, I saw the tents on the green, but I didn't know what was going on, so I stopped, and I'm glad I did. We're trying to get the word out. We have, all of the small fees that we charge for the stalls, we put right back into advertising and outreach. So we're really trying to, first of all, keep that process streamlined, but also, we run ads in the newspapers and print up flyers, and we have a few banners that we put on the green and some yard signs that get posted around town. And so hopefully, as people drive around, more and more of them will learn about the market and come on down.
Excellent. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Probably the best advertising, just people driving by, seeing the tents,
Yeah.
and curiosity, pull over.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
And so, do you have any kind of friendly competitions with other nearby farmers markets?
I don't think so. We were last year. We were at the same time as the New Hartford Farmers Market, Friday evenings, and I think that we weren't necessarily encroaching on one another's business at all.
Yeah.
I think that they'd been around a lot longer than we had, so they had their core group of people that would shop there, and I think we were just getting a different set of people. I understand that market isn't happening this year,
Oh, no.
which is really too bad. It's the more markets, the better, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. But maybe somebody will.
Any idea
resurrect it.
why they discontinued?
No, I don't know.
No. So, well, maybe there's some vendors there that you can pick up. And,
Yep.
and
Hopefully.
add to the local one here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. What else? What else is worth mentioning about the farmers market?
Well, getting back to your focus and health and nutrition, sort of the pitch that we give for the farmers market and shopping locally is that sort of some general statistics, which is that when you buy produce at the supermarket, for example, that piece of fruit or vegetable has typically was picked 7 to 10 days before you buy it, and traveled an average of 1,200 miles or so to get to you. So thinking about that in terms of nutrition, food, grown food, fruits, vegetables, loses nutrition pretty quickly after it's picked. So anytime after about 3 days, it's really not as nutritious as it would have been, the day it was picked or the day after it was picked. So that's what we really like to remind people, that this food is, not only does it taste better because it's fresher, but it is actually more nutritious.
Yeah.
So that's a solid reason to shop
You
at
could
the
do some of
farmer's
those
market.
blind taste tests. An apple that
Right.
traveled and an apple that was grown
Yes,
here.
exactly, exactly. Yep. Yeah, and you would be able to tell the difference. I mean, everybody knows the taste of a tomato that's that's picked right at the height of summer, right off the vine, and that you don't get that in the middle of the winter in New England.
Sure.
But it stands true for all the other vegetables as well. They don't taste as good, and they are not as nutritious.
So, what are some of the more unique things you've seen sold at the market?
Well, one of my favorites is a turnip called a hakurei, and it really is very much like a turnip. It's a little milder and a little bit. The flavor is sort of radishy, as most turnips are, but that was something that a lot of people asked. What do I do with this?
So, what did you do with it?
Well, like a turnip, you can steam it or mash it, or steam it and then mash it. Or what I like to do is cut it into thin sticks and just toss it in a salad and eat it raw. It's got a nice crunch. It's got a nice fresh flavor. Very tasty.
Excellent. And is there anything that people seem to have a particularly tough time selling people on?
Kale.
Kale.
Yeah, kale's the big one. Nobody knows what to do with kale. But
it's supposedly very healthy for you.
It's very healthy,
Yeah.
and you can really, it's a tough green. It's a hardy green, so it definitely has more tooth to it than a spinach or something like that. But you can steam it, saute it. I love to saute it with garlic and olive oil. You can make kale chips out of it, which are a tasty snack, especially for kids. If you can get them off the potato chips and onto kale chips.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's pretty easy to make too. You just essentially toss them with some olive oil and salt or some other seasonings and bake them.
Oh,
They get crispy and delicious.
excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to the market starting up. I'll have to swing
Yeah.
by and
Please do.
surprise the family with a nice bag of fresh groceries. But I'll have to bring cash. No credit
Yes,
card
right.
yet
No
this
credit
year.
cards yet, but we'll try to get that going.
Great. Well, Patrick, thanks so much for joining me today. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. And
My pleasure.
I think a lot of great information about the farmers market. Hopefully, you'll have another successful year and continue to expand.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks,
problem.
I hope so.
Well, while we have just a couple minutes left, wanted to remind everyone about some upcoming programs and events at the Y to keep everyone active and healthy. We just had our second open house for our brand new camp, YMCA Camp Wawa Segoya. It's an overnight and day camp located on a beautiful 500 acres in the Berkshires, just over the line in Massachusetts. And we'd love to bring kids out there for a week or 2 or 7 to just stay active and healthy, leave the TVs and electronics behind, and just reconnect with nature and build their character and confidence, and build some great relationships with other kids and our caring staff. So be sure to stop by the Y or call or check out our website for more information about that. And of course, our Grand Prix race series is kicking off at the end of June with our second annual Wild Y Mud Run. It's a 5K race with 25 some odd challenges, going over walls and through mud and through tunnels and up and down and all around, and it should be a lot of fun. We had about 500 people last year. We're anticipating probably about 1,000 this year. So don't wait, sign up soon to get your best time slot for the start of the race. And you can sign up as an individual, teams of 5, 10, 20. The bigger the team, the lower the per person registration. And plus, it's a lot more fun running with friends. And a lot of other great stuff going on at the Y. Actually, coming out in the beginning of the month, beginning of June, we'll have our new program guide with all of our summer programs listed, including our swim lessons. Here in Winsted, we're trying something new this summer, our quick start swim lessons. Normally we do once a week for 8 weeks, and we still will be offering those this summer, but we'll also be offering 4 2-week sessions. So Monday through Thursday, over 2 weeks, you can quickly finish a whole swim level and be off on vacation or off to camp or onto some other activities. Or you could potentially take 4 different levels throughout the summer and really progress and be ready for all the fun. You jump into the pool and go for a swim in the lake. Along with all sorts of other stuff. And of course, great things for adults as well. We've got our master swim team and our triathlon training and personal trainers who can help you get ready for whatever it is you're looking to do. So again, be sure to stop by. And I want to remind people of our adult day center. We had Mary Arnold with us on our last episode talking about the day center. It's a great place for seniors who want to retain their independence and stay at home with their families or in their own home. They don't want to go to a nursing home, but they can really use that support during the day. So they can come spend the day at the Y. We'll come pick them up with our free transportation, have lunch, do activities, stay active, stimulated, make new friends, and really just have fun. In future episodes coming up in June, we're going to have on as our guest the coordinators of the community gardens in Norfolk. They've built one at the Battelle Elementary School in Norfolk, and they're near completion, and they're going to be doing some work on it and getting people out there growing all sorts of stuff. Who knows, they may show up at the farmers market, Patrick, which would be great. So we're going to learn all about their community garden and how we can potentially develop one here in Winsted, which would be great. We've already had conversations with some of the schools and the Rotary Club who's interested in sponsoring it. So there's a lot of potential and be a great addition to the town. And great learning opportunity for the kids. As you mentioned, Patrick, that they can reestablish that connection with their food, not know where it comes from, know how it grows, and how that fresh stuff tastes.
Right.
So we're looking forward to that.